Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you guys to our podcast. We speak about children and the things that are going on with them because nobody else is going to speak for them like how we speak for them. The injustices that these children are facing is absolutely insurmountable. And I say that because it seems like you would think this thing would slow down, maybe come to a halt. People would get some common sense really quick and stop hurting children. As many options as we have between adoption and safe haven and just so many different options that people have. I can't imagine why anybody would ever feel the need that they just don't have any options. The woman that you see on my screen is considered to be a grandmother by the word and affiliation alone, because I don't think she's human. And if you guys listen at what this woman did to her own granddaughter, I think that you would agree with me that this woman needs life in prison with no possibility of return. Okay? Now I'm going to say some things in this stream that may or may not sit well with your sensibilities. If you can't handle that, I understand. Because this ain't no news station, all right? We are here to fight for the children and speak for them in a way that I believe we just have to have more of an honest conversation about what's going on with our babies and our society. This story comes out of Cincinnati, and a South Fairmont woman now faces murder charges for the death of her 2-year-old granddaughter. And let me say that again. 2-year-old. And I feel so bad about this story, and I'm going to be real transparent. I did the best I could to try to find family or friends of her or anybody who cared about this baby, that somebody might have posted a picture. I could not find a single picture of this beautiful little baby. So all I have is a name to be able to give you guys. But her 2-year-old granddaughter, LaTanya Austin, is that demon right there that y'all see on my screen, and was previously only charged with gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Now, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters said Austin struck her granddaughter by the name of Zayla Lee, which is spelled Z-A-I-L-A, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I want to put some respect on this baby's name. Zayla Lee, 2 years old, on March the 24th, causing her death. Let me back this picture up real quick because I want you guys to take a look at this filthy, nasty house on a hill. Looks like a haunted house. That don't even look like a house that a human should be living in. And I know people think that I'm a little bit too harsh about people who may or may not have sufficient means to provide decent housing. But let me say this. Maybe we should just think about, before we acquire children, to get a place to be able to house these children properly first. Is that too much to ask? I know people keep getting mad and upset at me because you feel like I'm clowning and bashing on people just because they might not be financially stable, might not be financially feasible for them to have a decent looking place. But I'm like, God dog, like that place looks like it wouldn't even be suitable for a homeless person. Like if you were just giving a homeless person a house for free, I wouldn't throw them in this place. Am I being too mean? Are y'all that, is your skin really thin? Are y'all that sensitive? I know it's not everybody, but I'm just saying, I do read my comments, and I'm just saying, I would not raise a human being, let alone a dog, inside of that house. Just saying. He also said that the 2-year-old baby, Zayla, suffered a deep laceration and a broken arm after her death. Wow. And keep in mind, this is after this baby was hit so hard, and y'all know that's blunt force trauma usually. That means this baby was beat up by a grown adult is what we suspect, okay? Now the little girl's body, and I want to warn you guys, this is about to get really bad. So brace yourselves about these details. This baby's body was found in a cooler on grandma's property. Let me warn you again. The details are about to get worse on top of that. Not only was this baby's body found in a cooler on grandma's property, but this baby was sliced up. This baby, this what used to be a human being, a baby, body was separated and put into multiple trash bags. Now, I know a lot of people say to me, they say, Jay, I can't listen to your channel. It's really hard to listen to what these babies have to go through. But I'm like, if that's the hardest thing we have to do, I don't think it's that bad for us to be able to listen at these children's stories. Especially when you compare it to what they actually had to live through and what they died through. I feel like as a society, we owe it to these children to hear their story. Maybe that will inspire us in our heart to be able to do something to stop this, because this is ridiculous. The grandmother originally told police that the little girl was killed by her sibling who shook her and then cut her with scissors. Let me read that again. Look at how nasty that is. That house looked like it came out of World War II or something. Absolutely disgusting. Let me say that again. Grandma blamed it on this little girl's sibling and said that the sibling shook the baby and cut the baby with scissors, a 2-year-old. She later admitted that the 2-year-old baby had been dead for a month, according to investigators. Now, how sick is that? Where are they making these grandmothers at? I'm sorry, but I'm from the old school, okay? I might not look like I'm 40 years old, but I'm from the old school. And last time I checked, I just don't remember grandmas being this heinous, this nasty, this disgusting. To be hiding murders of their grandchildren, lying, cheating, deceiving, shooting, stabbing, burning, sticking them in ovens and all kind of other crazy grandmothers. Yes, y'all heard that right. And then kept the baby's body in a cooler. No, we don't call 911. A human being is dead. You don't call 911, even if it was an accident. Hashtag, where are the parents? Thank you. Where are the biological parents? And I'm going to tell you guys this, because a lot of people tend to point the blame at CPS. A lot of us do this. I've done it in the past. I don't do it anymore. CPS is only a program put into place to try to help in these situations. It is not an end-all, fix-all. It's not a perfect situation. It's not a perfect system. It has its flaws because it's ran by humans. So it's definitely going to be flawed. I put the blame on the biological mother and biological father of the death of this child. Why do I say it's mom and dad's fault? Why were they not the caretakers of this kid? We haven't heard a statement from them. What this sounds like is that the child was living with grandma. We don't know that to be a fact, because ain't nobody came out and said anything, but yet they'll email me all these threats talking about, you's lying on me, Just Jay. Eyes don't like your video. Eyes want you to take your video down. Me and my lawyers gonna take you to court because you made me look bad on your podcast. I'm gonna leave the nastiest comment that I possibly can to make you feel bad about what you's doing on your news station. Let alone putting the children last of their concerns. But I think it's highly egregious when a biological mother and biological father, two individuals, can't work together somehow, some way, between two sides of a DNA biological family to be able to provide a safe environment for a child. I don't blame that on the system. That's a failure on us. Let's move on. This baby had been dead for a month. That is just sick. They said it's impossible to comprehend the depravity of an individual able to not only strike a 2-year-old so hard to cause her death, but to then attempt to conceal that crime by stuffing the child's lifeless body into a cooler. As a father and a grandfather, I'm sick, said Dieters in a news release. I am saying a prayer for the victim's siblings and the members of the Cincinnati Police Department who had to process and investigate this horrible scene. A neighbor told the news that Zayla's parents now live in North Carolina. They left her with Austin in August of 2020, 9 months before her body was found in that cooler. So there's the answer to where the parents were. I'm going to read that again because that really makes me upset. The parents left their daughter with grandma silly string hair, left the baby with her in August of 2020. Y'all do realize this is June of 2021. Excuse me. This is June. Yeah, I'm not July. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is June of 2021. They left this baby with her of August of 2020. So I stand by what I said, and these parents ain't the S word. Cause I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to be a good person on YouTube and stop getting flagged and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna try to mind my language. These are terrible parents. I don't care what reason it was. You know what? I can understand if you left your kid with grandma maybe for a couple days, maybe for a week. You know, I took my daughter to camp for a week. Out of state, me and my daughter went out there, had a great time, brought her back. Amazing time. I could understand maybe a month. But I'm sorry, if you're a biological mother or biological father, there's no way your kid should be with anybody else for more than 4 weeks. That's ridiculous, let alone 9 months. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think that's too much on anybody because that was not her kid, but that definitely didn't give her the right to murder the kid, okay? She's being charged with aggravated murder, and felonious assault in addition to her original charges. Dieter said she could face life in prison if she gets convicted, which we expect that to happen. Now, Austin was arrested on May the 9th, and she is locked up currently on a $500,000 bond on the initial charges. So I seriously doubt if she's going to get out on a $500,000 bond. Let me show you guys a couple of news stories, and then I'll get back to my personal thoughts right after this. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Take a quick pause real quick. If you guys are watching, do me a favor, and if y'all would, do me a favor real quick. Just take a moment. We are live right now. This is not a pre-recorded video. We are live. Do me a favor. Please let me know where you're watching from. Do me a favor and click that thumbs up. It'll help share the stream and let more people know that we're trying to share the story of Zayla Lee, this little baby. As a matter of fact, if anybody has a picture of this baby or knows the family, if y'all are out there in Cincinnati, email me, theafcmatters@gmail.com. Somebody send me a picture. I would at least like to update it on my thumbnail to have something. Because right now we don't have a face. This baby is no longer at risk of hurt, harm, or danger. But we got 800 people here, but we only have 300 thumbs up. That's why I'm asking for the thumbs up. We should easily be at our goal of 600 by now. We got more than enough people here to do it. I will not keep pausing it, but I do need y'all to click the thumbs up. I see OKC is in the building, Texas in the building, Memphis, thank y'all. New Orleans, the boot in the building. Florida, I see y'all. Thank y'all. So y'all can hear me. Good deal. Click that thumbs up. 600 thumbs up. We only need 193 more people to click that thumbs up. All right, let's get it.
Mother accused of putting her granddaughter's body in a cooler appeared in court today for the first time. Our Local 12's James Pilcher joining us now live from the Breaking News Center with just what came out of that court appearance. James, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Liz. Yes, Hamilton County prosecutors have charged 42-year-old LaTonya Austin with abuse of a corpse, and she was arraigned in Hamilton County Court this morning. She was given a $25,000 bond after prosecutors asked for a very high bond number. They argued in court that the body may have also been dismembered. Now, the original complaint only said that the granddaughter's name was ZL and did not list an age of the deceased. The detective in the case said in that complaint,
and ZL stands for Zayla, Z-A-I-L-A, Lee, L-E-E, Zayla Lee,
that Austin placed the body in several trash bags before putting it into that cooler. Here's what the prosecutors said in court today.
But the facts that the state does have paint a pretty disturbing picture about what was located by the police. The fact that multiple trash bags was used indicates to the state that there may have been dismemberment involved. Based on the shocking nature of what has occurred, we'd be asking for a high bond.
Again, we don't know how the granddaughter died, and Austin is only charged with a 5th-degree felony of abuse of a corpse. That carries a penalty of up to a year in prison and or a fine of $2,500. Now, we're hoping to catch up with Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters later this afternoon to get more on this case, and I'll be back at 4 and 6 here on Local 12 with
And I absolutely agree. For whoever said that in the chat that said that she definitely doesn't look like she's 42, that means me and her are almost the same age, and she looks like she could be like my like not even my mother. She looks older than my mom. Like she easily look a good 70-something. So I agree.
This home on Schoedinger Avenue clearly marked a crime scene. Tonight, the woman who lives here, 42-year-old LaTonya Austin, is in jail, charged with abuse of a corpse. According to court documents, Austin placed the deceased body of her granddaughter into multiple trash bags, then placed the bags into a cooler.
My understanding, she was in different garbage bags. I mean, these kids are being treated like garbage or a pet you hate.
He said it perfectly. I know he's looking at this like, what the hell, man? What in the absolute hell? Let me let y'all hear this again. Chop the baby's body up. Look at her face. Now, come on. Now, look. I know y'all be like, well, Just Jay, you need to stop making fun of people. Screw that. Look at her face. And y'all tell me that she looks like she's my age. That woman easily looked like she a good 60. 60 plus 60, 70 in the face. She looks an absolute mess. And I don't want to hear nobody blame this on, oh, well, she was mentally ill. She was going through things. Y'all need to stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Right now. Don't do that no more. Don't continue to keep giving people who murder and abuse children excuses. There is no excuse. There is a special place in hell for people like that, especially with a face like that. That face looks like it deserves to be on a stick sitting next to Satan in hell. How about that? Stop making excuses for baby murderers.
Placed the deceased body of her granddaughter into multiple trash bags, then placed the bags into a cooler.
My understanding, she was in different garbage bags. I mean, these kids are being treated like garbage or a pet you hate.
Dieters said today the child was just 2 years old.
It is unbelievable what is going on.
Court documents allege the crime took place at this South Fairmount home April 9th. Austin was arrested Saturday night. Cincinnati police say this is an ongoing investigation and would not comment on how they believe the child died, when she died, or if anyone is suspected of a crime in her death. We also don't know what led police to this home. Several vacant homes line the block. A neighbor at one of the occupied homes didn't want to go on camera, but he described Austin to me, saying sometimes she talked to you, other times she wouldn't. He also said he often saw a lot of people, including children, at the house.
And according to court documents, Austin was arrested on Lynn Street. Right now, she is in jail. No bond has been set in the case. However, she is due back in court tomorrow morning for a bond hearing. Reporting live outside police headquarters, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
And I don't even think whether, she gets a different bond or not. As long as the bond stays really high, I'm all good with it. But I do have a couple things that I want to say. First of all, I want to know if there's some people out there that believe that you have read from the Bible and ever heard this. I want to know how many people have ever heard this. When they say, you're not supposed to judge. Only God can judge me. You are not supposed to judge. Have you guys ever heard somebody say that and then actually tell you that it says that in the Bible? Because I want y'all to think about that so-called Bible verse, and think about this case. I've heard plenty of people say that. I've heard plenty of people come to my channel trying to argue that the Bible says we are not supposed to judge, which is actually not what it says at all. You want me to tell you what it actually says and what it means? Judge lest thou be judged. All it means is have righteous judgment. Do not judge unless you are going to be judged by the same standard. So the standard that you set, be prepared to be judged by that exact same standard. Anybody and everybody is supposed to judge, right? I actually talked about this at camp, and I tried to explain it to some folks that actually had it wrong also, right? You think about it. You have to judge whether something is safe or not, right? You have to judge whether to let somebody in your house or not. You have to make a good judgment call about somebody you're going to date or not, somebody you're going to have unprotected sex with or not, right? You have to make a judgment call about when to pull your car out into the street, when it's safe or not, huh? You have to make a judgment call when it comes to who's going to babysit your children, if it's safe enough. These are all judgments. You have to judge if you're going to step on a spider, or judge if a spider, or a snake is poisonous or not, right? We judge. Everybody is supposed to judge. Therefore, if we're supposed to be like Christ and do as Christ, if Christ is going to judge us at Judgment Day, then should we not be judging the actions that we make here while we are living on earth, and the people who are judged righteously? Thank you. Thank you. Judge righteously. Judge lest thou be judged. This woman's going to hell. I'm putting that judgment on her. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We got to start getting tougher in America, especially when it comes to defending our children. You have to look at that house and make a judgment call and say, you know what? It looked like Freddy Krueger lives in that damn house. Looked like Jason Voorhees died inside that house. Look at that. Judgment call. I don't think that house looks safe enough for a human being to live in. Judgment call. Huh? Where was the biological mother and biological father? I think that they are bad parents for not having their children for whatever reason for 9 months. Judgment call. This woman is going to face Judgment Day, not only here on earth, but in hell, because that's where she's going. She's going to have a court date. I believe she's going to get life in prison. We're going to put her on the first thing smoking off this earth when we get an opportunity to do so. Because she does not deserve life for what she did to that baby. Come on, man. Even if it was an accident, You didn't call 911. You didn't call the authorities. You didn't do anything. What did she do? Here's what I believe she did. I believe she got mad because somebody dumped this baby off on her and just left the baby there high and dry. She didn't love this baby. She didn't care about this baby. You know why? Because she was not collecting benefits off of this kid like most people try to do who are bad parents. Hashtag babies for benefits. She was getting no benefits. Therefore, she hated that baby being in her possession, and she treated the baby as such. She hit the baby until the baby died, and then I don't even know if you were trying to hide the death of the child, because you cut the child's body up into pieces, put it into garbage bags, and put it into a cooler. How stupid could you possibly be? It just doesn't get much dumber than that. This woman is absolutely slower than a bottle of molasses that have been left in an ice box. If she was a box of crayons, she'd probably be, maybe a navy blue. Because she's definitely not the brightest crayon in the box. This is actually a picture from 2011. Y'all tell me that woman don't look like there's something wrong with her. And what makes this case even worse for me is the fact that I have 0 pictures of Zayla Lee, 2 years old. We can't even honor this baby's legacy. And that sucks. Because I can almost guarantee you in 9 months, she didn't love this kid. She didn't take no pictures of this kid. And I don't know why there aren't any pictures out there. But if y'all do have a picture, I know I'd love to be able to at least update our thumbnail and show some love and respect for baby Zayla Lee. This baby cannot speak for herself, nor could she defend herself against the tyranny of her own grandmother. And I just don't know where they build grandmothers at like this. You don't have a soul if you do something like this. That baby deserves justice, and we hope to get justice against this woman. We'll give you guys a verdict whenever we find out what that's going to be after her court date. She's over and done with. Get her out of here. All right? I'm DJ Just Jay, and thank you guys so much for listening with an open mind and an open heart. Thank you. Now, I do have one more story that I want to tell you guys. I have one more story if y'all don't mind. Do me a favor and click that thumbs up. Oh, we are not done. We almost got 1,000 people here, which is really cool. If we can, let's try to get 600 thumbs up. We're still short of our goal. We got 969 people here, but we only got 523 thumbs up. So what we need is, let me see if I can do my math, 77 more thumbs up. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at my math. 77 more people. I bet you that was probably wrong. No, that was right. 77. That was right. How many of you guys heard about this mother who threw her children off the balcony of her apartment complex in New York? How many of y'all heard about this? Oh, I'm about to hurt some feelings with this one. Woo! That's a face only the devil could love right there, boy. Look at that. Look at that. You know how they say in the South? She got one of them faces. Wow. Did I get your super chat? Let me see here. I think I did. Let me apologize, Jen. I think I did. I don't see it right now. Let me see if I can see it over here. No, I can't see it over here. Crap. But Jen, if you did, let me say thank you very much. And I want to apologize. Usually while I'm talking about a particular story, I will try to pause on shouting out the donations. But just know that when you donate, just know that I do appreciate it. So let me say thank you to you. I definitely appreciate that. So, but no, I did miss your message. I apologize if I missed it. I hope you didn't. Did you ask me a question, or were you just showing some love? So if you were just showing some love, Jen, I want to say thank you very much. That's my boyfriend's friend. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Destiny, if you are familiar with this family, if y'all want to call in, you're more than welcome. I have a line that you can actually click that will let you call in to my live stream if you want to talk about this story. Almond Brown donated again. So let me say thank you very much over there in Cash App. And again, thank you, Brandy Kendall, Dre the Dream, all of you guys. So thank you, thank you. This woman threw 2 children out of a freaking window. Y'all are not going to believe this. Let me see. Is this the one? Dejeuner? Yes, it is. Oh, boy. I'm going to tell you guys, if y'all are sensitive about me talking crazy about baby murderers, then this might not be the story for you. Because I'm going to say some things that are probably going to piss some of y'all off. But yeah, if you want to call in, if you're a family member, if you want to call in, then tag Miss June Bennett or Lee or anybody, like if y'all want to call in, but you don't have any pressure on you. You don't have to call in if you don't want to. But if you got something that you want to say, my lines are open to you, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. Ooh-wee. Let's see here. We're at 587. We need 23 more people to click that thumbs up. No, that's wrong. Let me see. 88, 98. Sorry, we need 12 more people to click the thumbs up. Ulissa Cruz. Thank you so much for joining the channel membership. Thank you very much. We need 12 more people to click that thumbs up and we will be at 600. Let's talk about this story, man. This is crazy. And I think this came out of New York. Let me make sure. Brooklyn, New York City. Close enough. Close enough. Same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we visited this exact scenario, this story before. I don't know what is going on in our society. I don't know what kind of crack these people are smoking. It's something special in the water that's messing these people's brains up. I don't know what's going on. And I feel bad for the children. I don't necessarily feel bad for the adults that are doing this to the kids. Because the kids are the ones that can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. And they are not the ones choosing to live in this world. They didn't choose to procreate themselves. That's us as adults who are putting these children in this situation. This is why what I'm trying to do is spread awareness so that we can end this violence. If you guys are sensitive, this might not be the channel for you. If you need to exit the video, I understand, because I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, that are probably going to make you think that I just hate women, which is far from the truth. But I got to call a spade when I see it. The woman, if you can even call her that you see on my screen, has done something that I've talked about on this channel a couple of different times. It's really, really bad. In this most recent incident, the distraught 24-year-old mother of 2 children, this so-called mother, her name is Dejeuner Gerald. Dejeuner Gerald, of course, has a hood name. It's a name that you wouldn't be able to pronounce properly if you didn't know that's what it said. But it's Dejhanay and then Gerald, Jarrell. 24 years old. This woman looked like she'd have lived a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Look at her face. And where is her hairline? She's 24 years old. I didn't lose my hairline at least till I was 32. Sheesh. Her hairline way back here, like, good Lord. I mean, not even way back here. Y'all see that? Let me back this up like a U-Haul truck. Let me show y'all this. Look at this. Look. She covered up with these do-rags and weaves and do-rags. But all the while, let me see if I can get her face back up on the screen. Look at that. That's all I can say is just... Let me move on. What this idiot did was she threw her newborn daughter out of a window. I think she was like 2 stories up, if I'm not, 2 or 3 stories. I think it was 2 stories up. She threw the baby out of the window before also throwing her son out of the window as well. After the fall, witnesses stated that Gerald continued to slam the baby's head against the concrete. Oh, Lord, have mercy. For it, look, relationship rehab. Sorry. This is not funny. I'm sorry. You're right, bro. Traction alopecia. Boy, y'all know they come up with some terminology. I'll tell you that. I'm sorry. Let me move back to the story. My bad. After the fall, witnesses stated that the mother, this so-called mother, continued to slam the baby's head against the concrete. Did y'all catch that? Both the children and their mother were completely naked. They were completely naked, as in nude, in the nude. The question with all of this is why? Shout out to my brother Tommy, because he says the most important question you could ask is why? Why did she throw the kids out the window? Why was she naked? Why did she try to kill the kids and slam the kids' head against the concrete after throwing the kids out the 2nd-story window? What in the actual hell? Both the children and their mothers were completely naked. It was then that the neighbor by the name of Carl jumped in to try to save the children. Dejanay Gerald, who was 24 years young, was charged on Saturday with 2 attempted murders, 2 assaults, twice reckless endangerment, and acting dangerously for a child under the age of 17 years old. Now, the pictures that y'all just saw, because I was able to find those at the last minute, of her and that other dude, I'm going to talk about that, even though I hid his face, because he's an innocent party in this, as far as I know. But I'll go back and talk about that, so bookmark that. I'll talk about her not having that man in her life. We'll come back to that. The Brooklyn mother who allegedly threw her 2 young children, including a newborn, out a 2nd-story window. Let me not say allegedly, because witnesses actually say they heard it. They saw it and heard it. So let's just put that out there. She threw the children out the window, including a newborn baby, out the 2nd-story window in Brooklyn, and she's now facing attempted murder charges. On Saturday, June the 12th, so this was only 2 days ago, she was accused of throwing her newborn daughter and toddler out of the window of her 2nd-story apartment in New York City. Now, according to authorities, Dejanay Gerald was naked when she threw her 2-year-old son and 1-month-old daughter out the window at 11:20 a.m. in a Brownsville area of Brooklyn. I wonder why Brownsville sounds so familiar. I don't know if there are any YouTubers out there that are from Brownsville. I'm from Brownsville, son. I think it might be something wrong with the air that y'all are breathing out there. I really do. In a similar incident before, a Queens mother was actually accused of throwing her newborn baby out the window minutes after birth. Another previous reported incident of maternal brutality was that of Brianna Joyce, who videotaped herself beating a newborn baby and sent the videos to the baby's father. And we didn't even do that story yet. We haven't even done that story yet. Last year, we reported that Noah Tomlin, a mother from Virginia, mutilated and murdered her 2-year-old son Trinity Pittman, another mother from Georgia, allegedly killed her infant son for soiling his diaper. Lord have mercy. Now, according to eyewitnesses, Gerald threw her naked children out the fire exit of her Rockaway apartment at around 11 before jumping to the ground and continuing to harm the newborn girl after she fell onto the courtyard concrete from behind, which you guys can see it right there. That place literally looks like it came out of an abandoned city out of a movie or something. That don't even look real. I know that might be reality living for some people, but I'm sorry, that just looks depressing. It really does. But I know people doing what they got to do, so don't get mad about my opinion. It's just an opinion. Chen's sister-in-law, Shandy Harrison, claimed that she rushed to the scene in panic after hearing the child's screaming and explosion outside her home. She watched the mother grab the baby's leg and bang its head on the floor twice. The mother asked for help. I can see she was depressed. I think she wanted to kill the baby, but she just wasn't in her right mind. We're all women, and I don't want her to be judged. There's that word again. I don't want her to be judged. Why not? Why would you protect somebody? I don't understand why people feel the need to protect this. Why is womanhood more safe? Can anybody explain that to me? Let me pose my question. Why is womanhood more important than children? Can anybody explain that? Why is womanhood more important than children? The breakdown of the family, the nuclear family. I hate when people say nuclear. It's nuclear. I feel like I want to slap people who say nuclear. The nuclear. It's nuclear. The nuclear family, biological mother, biological father, children raised under the same roof. But I want y'all to notice something. Do you hear about a father in this situation? Hell no. And I actually have a theory. Let me show you guys a picture real quick, if y'all don't mind. Can I show y'all a picture real quick? Let me show you something that I was able to find on Facebook. I want y'all to take a look at this picture because I found this from that young man's page. I'm not going to put his name out there, which is why I hid his face. But he claims that he loves this woman. He's in love with this woman. Madly in love with her. That's the mother who threw her children out of a freaking window. I don't know if he's the baby daddy. I have no idea. But let me say this. I'm going to assume, and I'm going to do a lot of assuming until somebody come out and tell me what the damn truth is. See something, say something, speak up. But here's what I believe. I believe this big-headed, traction alopecia-headed woman was so desperate for a man, so enthralled in herself, that once that man left her, I believe she felt like, you know what? I had these children for nothing. I only had these children for the benefits that I can get off of these children. At the AFC, we call that hashtag babies for benefits. Now I'm no longer getting the benefits of these kids because I thought I could keep my man, lost my man, and now I wants to get rid of these kids because they are no longer benefiting me. They're not making me feel good. Because you know they actually said, let me see if I can find the quote. This woman actually said that she's tired of being by herself. Let me get the full quote. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Let me find it. Tired. She kept trying to hurt the children who were also naked. The woman allegedly pounded the infant's head into the ground because she was tired of being by herself. That's one of the babies right there. Beautiful little babies too. Thank you. I believe she was trying to trap a man. Babies for benefits. That's an AFC hashtag. We use it for a reason because I think it applies. Think about what she said. I'm tired of being alone, so I'm going to kill my children? I'm sorry, but I didn't know that penis was that good. I really didn't. I didn't think it was that damn serious. The fact that you had every opportunity and every choice to protect yourself before sex, during sex, after sex. You didn't have to have these children. Don't we have safe haven laws in every state? Well, if you don't want these children, you could give them up. You could have given the children up to the dad, couldn't you? Yep, you damn sure could have. But did you do it? Nope. Why? Because you're a selfish bitch? Yep. She was so consumed by herself. The self-esteem of this woman is absolutely asinine. That you would try to murder your children because a man don't want to be with you? And let me point something out there to you. Can I give y'all a little relationship advice? And we have the relationship doctor in the building. So if he wants to tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, he can let me know. Let's have a little serious talk for a moment. We got a good amount of people here. If y'all would do me a favor and click that thumbs up. I want to talk about something. Let me take y'all back to something real quick. First of all, let's look at this face. What man would want to be with a woman who don't take care of her skin? If you don't take care of your skin, I'm assuming that you probably don't bathe properly, meaning you probably smell in a funky manner. Nobody wants to be around you. What man is going to want to lay up on a woman that smell bad, bad hygiene, bad breath, bad skin, bad hair, because you're always wearing weaves in your head and pulling out your head and causing traction alopecia? Huh? Sticking all that glue and all that bullshit in your head all damn day, getting all them chemicals into your hair and in your bloodstream, which also affects your bodily fluids, which can also emanate a smell. I've never used that word emanate, but this is the perfect time to use it. It emanates a smell that is just not good. Let's talk about that first of all. Second of all, let me say this. That apartment place does not look conducive to raising children. If you don't have enough money to live any better than that, then don't have kids. You live in that nasty ass place. You go live in that nasty rat infested, dirt infested, trash all over the place, falling apart ass apartment over there. Live there by yourself. You can't have children if you don't even love yourself enough to be happy by yourself. Did I say something that was wrong? How about that for some relationship advice? Let me say it again. If you cannot be happy by yourself, then you damn sure shouldn't have children in your possession. Third of all, let's just say, well, she's young, she don't have a lot of money. Then don't have kids if you can't afford to live better than that. Matter of fact, you also have to ask yourself, why are you 24 and having kids by a man who has not committed to you? I actually came up with this about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was before I moved to Texas, so it's about 7 years ago. I used to post quotes on my Facebook page all the time. One of the things I used to say is a simple solution to stop all of these out-of-birth wedlocks and to stop all of these men walking out on their children. You want to know how you fix that? Talking about these men ain't shit. How many women out there in the chat believe that these dudes ain't shit? Because if you say that, hey, I'm with it. I'm cool with it. Then why have their kids? That's a choice. My body, my choice, right? This was a choice to put yourself in this situation. No man can do what a woman would not allow that man to do with what? With her body. She chose that. It is a very simple thing to say, no, I'm not going to have your kid. I'm not going to commit a legacy to you if you are not going to commit yourself legally and spiritually and emotionally to me. How about that for a solution? No babies, no marriage. No marriage, no babies. Is that too freaking hard? Does anybody want to cuss me out or send me some more death threats in my email based on what I just said? I really don't see what I'm saying that's wrong. Y'all feel like I'm bashing this woman? What I'm trying to do is use these stories as an educational tool to make sure that this thing stops. I get absolutely sick of looking at my email, and every time I get it down to about 50 emails left, I look up and we're back to 135 because people are still sending me stories of this exact same thing. Just this year alone, we probably have done, 5 stories of women throwing their children out of a window. Being a mother is a choice. And what's even more messed up about that, they have so many advantages over me. And I got to shout out Tommy because he talks about this all the time. Women have way more advantages than men. I still to this day don't understand why so many women, and I know it's not all, and let me give a shout out to my women in the chat. Y'all know it's not all. So don't get mad about this. Y'all know I'm right about this. Women have way more options to not be mothers. Once the seed leaves the man's body and enters that woman, his choices are over at that point. His only choice is abstinence. Condoms can break. Condoms can apparently be stolen and have the semen contents removed from them. So even that's not even safe. I feel like women have a lot of options. You are empowered. Understand your power. That's the most beautiful thing about women, especially a good, responsible woman, which that's not what she is. That's another reason why she's unattractive, because she's not responsible. What man wants a woman that's not responsible with her body, with her choices, with her living habits, with her parenting skills, with her education, finances, huh? What man wants a woman that's irresponsible sexually? Nobody. You can protect yourself during sex. You could just not have sex. But if you're going to, you can protect yourself. They have day after pills. Matter of fact, if you get pregnant and change your mind and feel like, you know what, this might not be for me, you can still have a late-term abortion. And on top of that, you can give your child up during safe haven in every single state. Safe haven laws, look them up. It's a simple Google search. Everybody has a smartphone, ain't no excuses. I got a lot more to say. Let me give y'all the fair usage and let me let y'all look in the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. You know how they used to say no to drugs back in the 80s? Need to say no to dick. How about that? Let's get it.
Aftermath of the frightening incident was caught on cell phone video. Paramedics can be seen tending to 2 small children just moments after police say their 24-year-old mother, Dejanae Jarrell, tossed them out of the second-floor window.
We heard crying, and then we heard a thump.
Neighbor Carl Chin lives behind the alley of 178 Rockaway Parkway. He says after hearing noises around 11 Saturday morning, he looked outside to see 2 children, a 4-week-old girl and a 2-year-old boy on the pavement. Jarrell, completely naked, standing on the fire escape above.
She was standing out over the ledge and she just jumped straight down.
Desperate to help, Chin called 911 and barefoot jumped this railing to get to the woman who he says was still hurting the baby.
She gripped the baby tight, so I kind of struggled with her to get the baby away from her.
Chin eventually got the baby girl into his own arms. He says Jarrell seemed distraught but grateful.
She even thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter. She was basically tired of being alone and not getting enough sleep.
All three were...
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this stupid excuse? She said she's tired of being alone and wanted to get some sleep. Keep in mind, this is... I hate to say that it doesn't... I don't really know how... Thank you. Trigger warning. Thank you. I really don't know how else to say this, but you give people a million options and they still make bad choices. She wanted to get sleep. Well, did you not know after one kid that you wouldn't get sleep and then you turn around and made another one? And you still could have gave them up for... just can't be that level of dumb.
Was still hurting the baby.
She gripped the baby tight, so I kind of struggled with her to get the baby away from her.
Chin eventually got the baby girl into his own arms. He says Jarrell seemed distraught but grateful.
She even thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter. She was basically tired of being alone and not getting enough sleep.
Tired of being alone. Boy, that is some selfish stuff.
All three were taken to the hospital. Chin says those final moments he'll never forget.
To see that is horrific, and I just did what any decent person would have done in that situation. I just reacted.
His sister-in-law, Shandy Harrison, who's also there, agrees. They say the mother did not appear to be in her right mind.
She was asking for help. She asked my brother-in-law to take care of the baby. I hope she get the best help she can. You know, a family member try to reach out to her.
Oh, goodness. She said she hoped the mother gets some help. Are you kidding me? And let me point something else out, because I know y'all are going to get mad about this, because you're going to say, well, this woman had nothing to do with this story. But let me point something out that I noticed that maybe some of y'all didn't notice at first. Let me play this again.
His sister-in-law, Shandy Harrison, who's
Look
also
at this. This woman and her 3 kids. No wedding ring, no man, no father. No, excuse me, 4 kids. Oh my goodness.
there agrees.
That's 4 kids. Notice the one on the right is light skinned, different dad. Then you got the 3 other ones, look like they're about 2 years difference in age. I'm sorry, but when I see something, I just gotta say something. I'm sorry. This is just, we're doing this to ourselves, man. Like, you don't have to keep just having kids and having kids just because you're in a relationship. You're not even requiring that a man marries you, but wondering why a man won't stay with you when he didn't make a commitment to you.
They say the mother did not appear to be in her right mind.
She was asking for help. She asked my brother-in-law to take care of the baby. I hope she get the best help she can, you know.
I hope they send her to prison for life. Give her the death penalty. That's the only help she needs.
This baby, a little girl just about a month old, remains critical at the hospital tonight. The toddler, he is stable. The mother, she also is hospitalized, and police say she's facing multiple charges, including attempted murder. A mother so desperate she would throw her 4-week-old newborn daughter and 2-year-old son out her apartment window and then follow them to the ground. Tim Jacquard wrote the original safe haven legislation more than 20 years ago. He is a paramedic for the Nassau County Police Department and a crusader to save newborn babies.
Here you have an opportunity. The law is it's known, but it's still, there's a lot of people that don't know it.
Police say 24-year-old Dejanay Jarrell threw her naked children from her Rockaway Parkway apartment around 11:30 a.m. yesterday.
And just to let y'all know, I didn't tell y'all this part of the story. One of the children is definitely expected to survive. One of the other children is still in critical condition, which I'm assuming that's probably the little baby that she smashed his head into the ground twice after throwing it out of a second-story window. So just to let y'all know, one is in critical condition, one is in stable condition. And of course the mom is okay. We wouldn't want nothing to happen to her, right? We want to make sure she gets some help and make sure that she's okay. We want to make sure that she's better than the children, right? We don't want her to be lonely.
A neighbor, a good Samaritan, scaled a fence to reach the kids and save the baby. He spoke to Pix 11 News Saturday.
She dropped the baby twice, so before she could do it the third time, I just jumped over and ran to her.
Jacquard says this tragedy did not have to happen. Under New York State's Abandoned Infant Protection Act, a parent can give up a baby under 30 days old anonymously without fear of prosecution.
We've got to prevent this from happening. And but yet, at the same time, I want to make sure that she gets a fair trial and that she gets psychiatric treatments. And I think that's what's going to intervene, the fact that she was out of control and that she may have been suffering postpartum psychosis.
She was suffering postpartum psychosis. No, she's just a postpartum selfish bitch. She needs to go to hell, not jail.
I'm in my bedroom here, and we could hear the baby crying. And within seconds, we hear a thump, like a body just hits the ground. I pick up my house phone, dial 911.
Carl Chin describes how he jumped into action in a way that has his neighbors now calling him a hero. He and his family live right behind this scene that NYPD investigators were on all day. Police say that a young mother pushed that air conditioner out of her bedroom window, then threw her 4-week-old baby out and down to the ground, as well as her 2-year-old son. Then the mother jumped herself. All three were naked. A warning, what happened next is even more disturbing. Chin's sister-in-law was also an eyewitness.
She picked the baby by the leg and boom, boom.
Boom, boom. She said that was the sound of the baby thrown down to the concrete.
She dropped the baby twice, so before she could do it the third time, I just jumped over and ran to her.
He was the one run like any Superman and jumped the fence.
He jumped this fence in his bare feet, by the way, and is now limping from the 10-foot drop on the other side.
Use my forearm.
That's a 10-foot drop. That dude could have broke his own legs. Why were they naked? Again, everything you could ask in this story could literally be why after everything. Why were they naked? Why did she try to kill the kids? Why did she have the kids? Why was she lonely? Why was she living in these apartments? Why was she broke? Why did she have a hairline that's way back here? We could ask a whole lot of whys. I don't know. I really don't know.
And kind of gotten her to loosen her grip with the baby.
Chin calmed the mother down until paramedics and police came minutes later.
She's clearly not in a right state of mind. She must have had some type of mental breakdown. She actually thanked me once I got the baby in my hand. She thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter.
She's not to be judged because we all go through our depression.
The newborn.
Oh, you hear what she just said? Let me make sure y'all hear this. She said she's not to be judged. You heard that?
She must have had some type of mental breakdown. She actually thanked me once I got the baby in my hand. She thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter.
She's not to be judged.
She's not to be judged. Let's hear this again. This is coming from a mother that got 4 kids on camera. Let's hear what she had to say again. Because they want all women to be infallible. There's nothing you could do wrong. Listen to what she said. She's not to be judged. Sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Listen at this again.
I got the baby in my hand. She thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter.
She's not to be judged.
She's not to be judged. I'll be back. She's not to be judged. Wait here. Get to the chopper. She's not to be judged.
She must have had some type of mental breakdown. She actually thanked me once I got the baby in my hand. She thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter.
She's not to be judged because we all go through our depression.
The newborn.
So she said we all go through depression. So if this is what depression causes you to do, should these individuals who say that they all go through things like this, Should they be, I'm just asking a question. Should they be allowed to be parents and should they be allowed to have children if they pose a danger or a risk to their children? Should they? Because if you're going to say that women go through this and men don't go through this, women go through postpartum, men don't, then why are women given the children off top and the men are not given at least 50-50 custody off top? Or let the men have the custody until the women get through this period of postpartum. How long does postpartum last? What, 2-3 months? Postpartum psychosis is very real. I don't care. You get my point? Let me make sure I'm very clear. I don't care if it's real. I really don't. Then don't be a parent. Stop reproducing. If you present a danger to your children, then you should not be a parent. Just that simple. The child should be with whoever is going to protect that child. So if men don't have postpartum but women do, then maybe there should be more male fathers early on than mothers having children by themselves with no help and no stability. Huh? Is that clear? I've told you the simple solution to that. You can't guarantee that a man is going to stay there. You're like, I can't make him stay. I can't make him be a father. But what you can do is you can actually demand that that man make a commitment to you. Legally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and say, I'm going to marry you first. Until I get this on my hand, sign papers, and we under the same roof, and we're making this work as a couple, then we ain't having no kids until that happens. Why is that hard? Am I asking too much? Or y'all just don't want to do it that way?
Born was transported in bad shape, but alive.
Half of her face was bruised.
The mother and 2-year-old are reported in stable condition. Chin's family and neighbors say it would be worse if not for him.
Just decency. Just doing what any decent person would do.
We begin with breaking news tonight. The mother accused of throwing her children out of a window is now being charged. And tonight, we're hearing from the Good Samaritan who jumped in to rescue the kids. CBS 2's Kieran Dillon has new information from Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Jessica, neighbors here at this Brownsville apartment building tell me the mother and 2 children had only lived here a short while before today's horrifying incident. Some have now started this tribute as they pray for the recovery of the 2 small children, one who has been critically injured. The aftermath of the fright.
Let me back this up. Let me show y'all this tribute. Look at how sad this is. This is how many people care about what just happened. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me go ahead and get you up out of here. Goodbye. Have a great day. Somebody asked me, they said, where is it at? You said she can be married and this could still happen. Sophia, I'm going to tell you just like I tell all people. We don't talk about the anomalies here. We are numbers people. We are statistics people. So I'm going to assume that if you're a black woman, then that has to mean that you're the most educated in the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry. But look, if black women are supposed to be the most educated in the United States of America, then I'm going to give you credit for that. I'm a numbers person. Let's look at the numbers. The numbers say that children do much better coming from a 2-parent household, which usually has the social construct called marriage under the same roof, the nuclear family. Children usually do better. So you want to tell me about the few that do, but not the many that don't? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I will pause my show and you tell me if I have that right or if I have that incorrect. You're trying to tell me that she could get married and this could still happen. It's less likely to happen because now you have support. And guess what else this stupid bride also has? A man, which also means that now she's not lonely like she said she was, right? So it seems like you almost would have solved two problems. One, to have some stability, have some help, get some rest, have your man. You're not lonely no more. You got more income coming into the house. We're numbers people. Always remember that. We're numbers people. Statistics. That's where you have to base all of this stuff. We're looking for a model of success, and that's what we have to follow. We're not talking about the anomalies where we say, well, just because you have a baby outside of marriage don't mean you can't be successful. It basically means that you're going to have a high probability that you're going to end up in jail or be unsuccessful having children outside the confines of wedlock. Higher chance doesn't mean a guarantee. And I didn't say all. But again, y'all look at how sad that is. That's the memorial right there. Absolutely pitiful. That's how many people cared. One of those Money House blessing candles and a little toy baby. Isn't that sad?
Critically injured. The aftermath of the frightening incident was caught on cell phone video. Paramedics can be seen tending to two small children, just moments after police say their 24-year-old mother, Dejanay Jarrell, tossed them out of the second-floor window.
We heard crying, and then we heard a thump.
Neighbor Carl Chin lives behind the alley of 178 Rockaway Parkway.
Get the baby away from her.
Chin eventually got the baby girl into his own arms. He says Jarrell seemed distraught but grateful.
She even thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter. She was basically tired of being alone and not getting enough sleep.
All three were taken to the hospital. Chin says those final moments he'll never forget.
To see that is horrific, and I just did what any decent person would have done in that situation. I just reacted.
His sister-in-law, Shandy Harrison, who's also there, agrees. They say the mother did not appear to be in her right mind.
She was asking for help. She asked my brother-in-law to take care of the baby.
She asked the brother-in-law to take care of the baby, but she didn't even ask the baby daddies to take care of the babies. Isn't that something? Let's keep going.
Now, this happened around 11:20 this morning, and you know it's serious when police are still on the scene half a day later and are likely to be here hours more. This would have been an even greater tragedy if not for the quick action and remarkable athletics of one man.
I was laying down in bed. Within seconds, we hear a thump, like a body just hits the ground. I pick up my house phone, dial 911.
Carl Chin describes how he jumped into action in a way that has his neighbors now calling him a hero. He and his family live right behind this scene that NYPD investigators have been on since late morning. Police say that a young mother pushed that air conditioner out of her bedroom window, then threw her 4-week-old baby out and down to the ground, as well as her 2-year-old son. Then the mother jumped down herself. All three were naked. A warning. What happened next is even more disturbing. Chin's sister-in-law was also an eyewitness.
She picked the baby by the leg and boom, boom.
Boom, boom. She said the woman slammed the baby on the concrete twice. The sister-in-law couldn't intervene because this fence was in the way.
He was the one run like any Superman and jumped the fence.
Chin stopped the mom from bashing the baby a third time.
Used my forearm and kind of gotten her to loosen her grip with the baby.
Chin calmed the mother down until paramedics and police came minutes later.
She's clearly not in a right state of mind. She must have had some type of mental breakdown. She actually thanked me once I got the baby in my hand. She thanked me and told me to take care of her daughter.
And this is a good example and another example why men are important. This brother jumped in and risked his own health to jump in and try to help somebody else. Another reason why, you know, we need to support our men. But shout out to that brother. Let me show y'all this last video. Then I'll give y'all my closing thoughts before we wrap up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, share this video, share this stream. I will post these videos as separate videos at a later point, but support this channel by way of just clicking that subscribe if y'all would, please. Here's the last news video, and then I give you my closing thoughts.
We begin with that terrible story in Brooklyn where police say a mother threw her...
Yes, it was a 10-foot jump. Yes, sir. Yep. That boy could have broke his legs, his ankles, could have messed himself up. Maybe he couldn't even have went to work anymore. He could have broke his back. He could have broke his neck if he would have fell wrong. But that's what men do. We put our life on the line to save others.
2 young children, including a newborn, out of a second-story window this morning. CBS 2's Kieran Dillon reports from Brownsville with new information from witnesses.
Jessica, the terrifying incident that's left 2 children injured, one of them critically, took place at this apartment building here in Brownsville. Police are now investigating why a mother would throw 2 of her children out of a window. Police say the 24-year-old mother first threw her 4-week-old daughter out of this second-floor window at 178 Rockaway Parkway, followed by her 2-year-old son. The mom, naked and possibly suffering from mental illness, then jumped out behind them.
We started to scream because we saw a newborn baby on the ground with blood coming from the hair.
Neighbor Shandy Harrison heard the baby's cries and rushed to see what was going on. She says the mom was still trying to hurt the baby.
My brother-in-law, he was the one who ran and jumped over the fence and tried to get the baby from the mom, which the mom was trying to fight my brother-in-law not to take the baby, so he was the one who took the baby from the mom.
Harrison says the mom appeared to be out of her mind. She says after her brother-in-law got the kids away from their mother, she appeared distraught yet grateful.
She was asking for help. She asked my brother-in-law to take care of the baby. I hope she get the best help she can. You know, family member try to reach out to her, and people are in the surrounding. She needs help.
The mother and 2 children were taken to the hospital. Police say the 4-week baby girl is now in critical condition. The 2-year-old boy and his mother suffered non-life-threatening injuries but are expected to be okay. As for a motive for this incident, police say that's still under investigation, but mental illness is a possibility. In Brownsville, Brooklyn, Kieran Dillon, CBS 2 News.
And to the person that just emailed me, if you're still in the chat, you know, if you just emailed me like less than 10 minutes ago, if you're still in the chat, if you want to debate what you just wrote me, because I totally disagree, then let one of my moderators know, tag my name, and I'll let you call in. We'll put the link in there if you want to call in. If not, I'm going to go ahead and move on. But like I said, if you want to debate that point, we could talk about it, and maybe I can explain my point to you. All right? But let me give y'all my closing thoughts. My closing thoughts about this story is we absolutely have to stop giving excuses for people who hurt, murder, and abuse children, period. I don't care whether it's postpartum depression. I don't care if it's mental illness. I don't care if it's the bird flu. I don't care if it's COVID. I don't care what it is. But we have to stop people who hurt children in their tracks. They need to be made an example out of, and let other people know that you need to be thinking very deeply before you have children. This should be a process from the time that these kids are born. As they're growing up, they should be learning about their bodies, learning about responsibility, learning about what happens when you have children. Where were her parents at? Did they not teach her this? Was she too stupid? Did she not absorb the fact that you know that if you have sex, you have kids, you ain't gonna get rest, and there are a lot to take care of? They take up a lot of your finances and time. Did she not know this? And for anybody who would give that excuse, I would have to say that is the key reason why you should not be having children if you don't even know that basic fact. Children are very demanding, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. It doesn't even matter if you have to wait until your 30s, or maybe closer until you're 40, or maybe just don't have any. But this can't keep happening. This has to stop. We can't do any more to save these kids, But what we can do is continue to use these videos to educate as cautionary tales, to encourage other women, other men, other boys, other girls not to put themselves in these positions. If you have children, you're not going to get any sleep. Fact. If you have children outside of wedlock and choose to be a baby mama, there's a high likelihood that your ass is going to be lonely. Fact. If you have children outside of wedlock, there's a high likelihood that you're going to need a lot of money that you might not have at your disposal to take care of them properly. Fact. Children should have life insurance. Fact. If you can't afford it, then you should not be a parent. If you're still spanking your children, if you're still being physically disciplining your children or punishing your children, you should not be a parent. That is a fact. We have to start demanding better of our parents. If you see something, please say something. Even if you're wrong, we need more people to report, folks. If you see something wrong, you got to say something. As long as we have systems like CPS and the police to go and do these investigations on these people with hairlines way back here, I think people that have hairlines way back here might not be suitable parents, okay? I really don't. As long as we have those systems in place, I would rather you make the phone call and be wrong and save a life than don't say anything. And next thing you know, you're looking at somebody having to go over there on the side of the building and scrape a baby's dead body off the ground. This was absolutely unnecessary. She could have given this kid up for adoption. She could have given this kid up for abortion, which is what I almost said, but which is actually correct. She could have given this kid over to the biological father, because I'm assuming this was not an immaculate conception. I'm sure that she didn't get pregnant from Jesus. I'm sure she actually got her seed from an actual human being. She could have gave custody up to the biological father. You could have took the day after pill. You could have just used a condom. You could have just not had sex. You could have asked for that man to marry you before you produce his legacy, his children, and then try to do it all by your damn self and then cry, woe is me, I can't do this all by myself. This too hard, y'all. I need some help, y'all. I personally think more highly of our people, contrary to popular opinion, tend to think that we are this dumb that we can't figure something this simple out. I'm one of those black and white people where I feel like we just need to draw a line in the sand and say what we're going to tolerate and what we're not. And what we're not going to tolerate at the AFC, where we advocate for children first, is we're not going to tolerate the murder, abuse, and disrespect of our children. They cannot speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves against the tyranny of their mother who has traction alopecia. Those children need an advocate, and we're going to pray for the lives of the one that's in critical condition, but definitely pray for those babies to make a full recovery. I would love to hear a positive outcome to this and see these children grow up and become something great and just make this world a better place, because I have a feeling that if they survive this, they're going to thrive in somebody else's hands. To the mother, she don't need help. She don't need jail. She needs hell after jail. Give her the maximum penalty under law. She's made her choice. She needs no more chances to be able to hurt any more children. All right? Get her out of here. To those children, prayer hands up. We're going to pray that they make it through this. This is DJ Just Jay with the AFC, and I want to remind you guys, if you listen to these stories with an open mind and an open heart, don't miss my message, by getting in your feelings if your skin is a little thin. If you remember to put the children first, then my message actually makes quite a bit of sense, okay? But thank you guys. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you disagree, or if you agree, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section after this is done, okay? Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the next stream, all right? Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now this is going to wrap us up. Thank y'all so much, man. This story just makes my head hurt. But thank you guys so much. Let me go ahead and show some love to our sponsors, and we'll see you guys on the next stream, all right?
Nora's Authentic Designer has some of the most glamorous and stylish handbags your girl has ever seen. So ladies, if you want to get fly, and fellas, if you want to take care of your lady, please be sure to go to www.noras915.com. www.noras915.com. That's right, www.noras915.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you. Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.